Pro Football player Travis Kelce is pressed for time during the football season. So he does two things at once. Whether it's grilling while mowing.
Two things at once!
Or getting this season's updated COVID-19 shot at the same visit as his flu shot.
Two things at once.
You can be like Travis and ask your pharmacist about getting this season's COVID-19 shot at the same visit as your flu shot, if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, oh, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Thanks for tuning into our podcast. We love having you here, and it's our mission to bring you all the latest and greatest tips, skills, and know-how to make you the best that you can be. We know that you have it in you, and we're going to show you how. Now, let's get started.
This episode is powered by Poddex.
Thank you for tuning in today. You are now listening to That Will Never Work podcast with your host, Maurice Chisholm.
Greetings, everyone. How are you today? Hey, y'all, this has been a great time. We are really blowing through this year, and there's a lot going on. You'll be hearing about that over the next few episodes. But listen, I heard something not too long ago on social media, and more importantly, it was Wallow. For those of you who don't know Wallow and Gilly, they are a podcast. They talk about $1 million a game, right? And but Wallow had this video on social media who talks about hot dog stands. And you probably wonder, like, hey, Maurice, what are you talking about hot dog stands? What he's talking about is, people feel as though they cannot work or do anything because there's other people doing the exact same thing, right? And you can't get anything done because of that. Well, here's the reality, right? He references New York. And you go down New York and you look at people with hot dog stands. He said it could be like 9, 10 hot dog stands in one block. Now, does that mean that those hot dog stands or none of them are making any money? Well, they would need to be in order for them to be out there on a consistent basis, day in and day out. So even though each one of them are competition, but they're all probably helping each other out. So long story short, how do you get over your challenges where you feel as though that, hey, someone else is out there doing the exact same thing that I'm doing? Well, what makes you different? What makes you unique? What products or services or, customer service or whatever it is, what makes you different from the very next person? And I think this is one of the things that Wallow was referencing when he talks about these hot dog stands. And I'm not going to put words in his mouth. You can listen to that video directly from him on especially on Instagram. I saw it on Instagram. But my idea when I hear about that, or I heard that, was, am I in a genre, being a business coach, where that's oversaturated? Am I in a place where being a small business consultant, is that oversaturated? Being a website designer, even being a podcaster, ultimately, are these saturated markets where you cannot make a difference for your life, in your life with someone else, for someone else, around someone else? You think that these things are oversaturated, but let's be honest, you don't know until you try. And so let me give you my thoughts on the market being oversaturated. So for myself, I take a look at podcasting. I'm going to use this one example of podcasting because you're listening to me today. So when I take a look at podcasting and I pay attention to what the trends are and what people are doing and what equipment that they're using and things like that. Yes, people may be using equipment more efficiently than I am. You know, they may be using it in a different capacity than I am. Their content may be a little different than mine. But all these things that are different from myself and these other individuals makes me unique in my lane, in my space. So I'm bringing up the podcast because, yes, there are millions of people that have podcasts. But guess what? Not even half of them have as many episodes that I have. Not even half of them are consistent with their content that I have been. And so let me even say that right now. So this particular episode that you're listening to right now is number 55 for the year. Okay? Number 55 for the year. Every year I have gone up. Well, let me backtrack. I believe it was only 17 episodes in year one. So understand that consistency and or wanting to become better at your craft, how much work do you need to put in? And not allowing the naysayers to bump you off track, right? Year two, I was able to get up to 27 episodes. 27. So I go from 17 the first year of That Will Never Work to 27 year number 2. And now at the halfway mark of year number 3, I'm already at 55. So I have doubled the amount from last year, almost tripled the amount tripled from the year before. So, and combined, this 1 year, I've done more this year than I have in the last 2. And in that place of being consistent, pushing out more content, speaking to all of you, you're getting great feedback and whatnot. What has happened and what has been the outcome is that I am slowly but surely seeing my numbers rise of the Apple Podcast charts, all because of you, the listeners, are being supportive, and that's because of, or direct result of consistency and being true and honest and transparent with myself of putting out this content. It's touching someone. It's encouraging someone. And so let's not get bogged down by how many other people are doing podcasts. Their content is very similar to mine. But guess what? You are unique. You are different. So 9 hot dog stands mindset, 10 hot dog stands within a mile. Yes. Or block within a block. Yes, that can happen, right? Same thing with podcasts. Yes, almost any and everybody's doing podcasts, more especially those individuals. There are some individuals who are doing podcasts and they're relying very heavily on video and not audio. Or then you have some that's, worried about audio and not the video, i.e. like myself. I'm not pressing the video piece. I understand the importance of it. Don't get me wrong. But I decided that I wanted to have a lane for myself, create a lane for myself. And understanding who my target market is. So in the midst of having 1 million podcasters talking about entrepreneurship and inspiration and things like that, I have climbed up to the top 200 in Denmark. I'm slowly rising up the mark in Canada. I was in the top 300 in Canada. So don't worry about at one time, this year for both. So don't worry about who else is on your block doing the exact same thing. Don't worry about who is presenting the content in a more flamboyant, with more flair, more personality. Continue to be you. Continue to be who you are. And within those 9 hot dog stands, you can become the one that stands out for one particular customer. And that one can possibly be the one that'll change your life. Thank you very much for listening today.
Loved what you've heard on this week's episode? Well, the answer is simple. It would mean the world to us if you could head over to iTunes and leave us a 5-star review and feedback. Spreading the word really is the best way to grow our podcast and achieve even greater things. Thank you.
Okay, round 2. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Hello, Saver. Whether you're saving for that trip to the tropics or saving for an emergency, now is the time to take advantage of Wells Fargo's savings options. Wells Fargo offers savings accounts that can help you save towards your goals. So, what are you saving for? Visit a Wells Fargo branch or wellsfargo.com/save to open a savings account today.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.